Look, if you've watched anything on Johnny 2000 before, it should be no surprise to you that me and Zoey Brooks are not on good terms. I've definitely said negative things about this show in the past, and honestly, I stand by them. So yeah, this is not an apology video. This is me taking the craziest episodes I've seen of Zoey 101 and kind of putting them on blast, kind of like isolating them on their own. If you've seen my Zoey 101 retrospectives, this is probably not going to be a lot of new info or even footage for you guys. So I'd either check out that one or just join me for this little banter. We're going to be diving into some of the most offensive and time-wasting episodes I've ever seen of Zoey 101. We've did this with Drake and Josh, we've done this with Victorious, iCarly, but now it's time for Zoey 101, and I expect a full-on roast fest. As we go from seasons 1 to 4, we're going to highlight 2 of the craziest episodes I found in each season. Not only the worst, but the most controversial a little bit. What's up, everybody? It's Johnny 2000, focusing on 2000's media, movies, TV, and so much more. Okay, let's jump into season 1. The season finale, season finales when shows finish their first introductory season and want to have a really enticing plot to keep the viewers watching and get ready for another season, perhaps. Yeah, Zoey 101 ruined all that for me. Season 1, episode 13 is called Little Beach Party. Everything that was exciting about the TV show so far is not present in this, and it's somehow like the weakest episode. There's not even plot in this. The first 7 minutes is everybody getting ready for exams. Zoey is complaining in her diary because it's been so hard and everybody expects her to help them. And I don't know why Zoey has this whole martyr mentality. She's very much like,
be nice, but I have my own exams too, and it's not like anyone offers to help me study, and I just don't see it.
All right, shh, just calm down.
I live for other people, and it's starting to bother me. Chase tries to affirm her that after the exams are over, they'll have a party and everything will be great and you don't have to worry about anything. This is the one conclusive thing about this season finale, is that we see that they're actually stopping their midterms or whatever it is that you are leaving the school to come back.
David, you left your underwear on the floor again.
I gotta call you back.
So Zoey's hyped, and the exam week ends, and it's time for everybody to go to the beach. Quinn tells everybody about this new coconut-smelling thing.
It does smell like coconut. I know, isn't it cool?
Man, I feel like taking a nap.
What? Yeah, we can't sleep. We gotta.
Everybody passes out. Oh my god, they pass out again. It's season 1 and they already have a repeated through line with Quinn. And they end up waking up like hours later and apparently they're pretty much missing the entire bus to get to the beach.
What? The last bus from Mystic Beach leaves at noon.
How are we gonna get there in 14 minutes? We have to, come on.
They find an alternative route and go the opposite direction, ending up at an empty beach.
Mystic Beach is exactly 57 miles north of PCA.
No, it's not. Mystic Beach is south of PCA.
And the entire episode is them essentially lost and stranded. Like, their phones don't work, they have to figure out a way to make fire, but there's not anything really at stake because we know they're gonna be okay. And it does take them a little too long to be like, oh, we're gonna make the most of this and have fun instead.
And Dana, you've got batteries in that boombox? Uh-huh. All right then, let's crank up some music and quit being a bunch of lame losers.
Yeah.
And I feel like that doesn't also solve the problems they had, like you still are stranded on an island. It reminds me of those other Dan Schneider bottle episodes, like where Drake and Josh were left at the side of the road, or the Victorious cast was locked in that RV. Like, I feel like these shows like to have a bottle episode of the main characters getting stuck somewhere, having a good time, having a bad time, and just going crazy in the middle. I just... As a season finale, though, like, this is even crazier that they tried to have this in. Dustin loses his bathing suit and is stuck in the ocean, which you think is going to be the premise of the rest of the episode, but it's just an annoying segment that keeps coming and going, and nobody really helps him enough.
A big wave knocked off my bathing suit.
Well, where is it?
If I knew, would I be naked from the waist down?
And Quinn is able to make the firework. Okay, it's nice to see that she's helpful now. I feel like this episode would have been a lot more interesting if everybody had something to offer to their survival and they butt heads on trying to do it, and or like went the Jimmy Neutron approach where like maybe one person is super into it but everybody revolts against that person. But no, It's just Zoey studying for the exams, and then they're lost at a beach. Can't really do anything about it. Nothing progresses to be worse. And the teacher ends up showing up and rescuing them.
I brought those pants you asked for. Where's your little brother?
He's still naked in the ocean.
Interesting.
Super anticlimactic. Nothing's happening. Like, I'm not worried about what's going on next season. I don't even care if they wake up. Oh yeah, they faint again. Another episode ends with everybody fainting. But this time it's like scary because it's the teacher's pickup truck. Like, why do you have a bunch of teenagers asleep in your trunk? He also falls asleep by taking a sniff of whatever that coconut thing was.
Oh, this looks comfy. All right, I'm right over here. If you,
And this episode just feels like a bullet list of things that are happening. As I'm telling you guys this episode, it just feels like it's like, this happens, then this happens, then this happens. And none of it brings out some interesting sides of the characters. None of it progresses the plot. We got a conclusion of Zoey and Chase's love journey at the end of episode 11, so like these last two are just like, what are you doing to me? If I were Nickelodeon, I would not have renewed the show for another season. Like, it just feels like this really weird experimental comedy drama TV show that doesn't necessarily have a through line, nor does it know when it wants to be funny or wants to be serious. The plot lines get real and the characters have actual stakes to deal with, but because they're such terrible people, it makes it really hard to even want to see them succeed. I remember when I was little, I gave the show a lot of slack. I thought it was funny. I definitely would watch it if it was on, but I remember never laughing, and I don't really know why I was watching it. And looking back, I don't see any reason to keep watching it. Like, it's not funny enough, it's not dramatic enough, and it doesn't even hold a place in history. And I could forgive all of that if the main character was not so bland. Like, Zoey 101, her character is just either whining about somebody else's problems, trying to do favors for other people. It just feels like she doesn't have, like, a solid sense of ground. I mean, her biggest actions were when she wanted to revolt against the guys or make peace with people. And if you guys like astrology, that's very Libra energy. I guess you could argue they're getting along now. It's kind of the end of an arc, but I'm still looking for hints of Chase and Zoey. Even something going wrong. It feels like barely anything happens except for Dustin losing his trousers. Zoey doesn't grow. There's no need to even watch more, in my opinion. If it were funnier, I would excuse it, but this one just isn't. So Little Beach Party is last on the list. Little Beach Party was already enough for me, so we're just gonna jump right to season 2. The season that added Lola. Let's jump into both of the episodes I picked for this season. The 12th episode, People Auction, comes to mind. Everybody's at Sushi Rocks. Chase still works here, Kazu's still the boss. And all the kids are having dinner there and are acting like really annoying teenagers. Like, they're disruptive. I don't know how this coach eats in silence when they're being really rampant. When it's time to deliver, Chase takes way too much food and ends up falling down one of the PCA stairs. What was that?
Chase! Oh, no!
The group run to help him, and while everybody's gone, Kazu's restaurant sets on fire. The next day, we see Kazu super depressed, and even Dean Rivers is mad, but I don't know, it was kind of an accident on Chase's part. I don't think it's his fault for taking too many of the deliveries.
Oh, wait. Here's $5. It's not burnt too bad.
Well, we don't usually accept tips, but thank you.
Apparently, even the money in the safe caught on fire, which is crazy. How did the fire get through the safe? But they keep bringing it back up to him. Guys, just give him a break.
Look, we all feel bad enough about the fire.
Feeling bad doesn't fill my gut with raw fish, now does it, Cupcake?
So all the kids are feeling horrible, and they keep blaming each other, especially like Zoey and Chase. I just realized this is a new gym coach, and we're not even seeing the guy Biff from Back to the Future like in the first one. But I guess that doesn't really matter that much.
You just earned yourself a slice of revenge pie.
He ends up vowing a revenge pie. I don't know why he keeps saying revenge pie. Like, is that a threat or a delicious treat? Kazu ends up leaving.
I'm going back to my homeland to see my mother and think about my future.
You're going back to Japan?
Alabama. I'm from Birmingham.
Everybody assumes he's going back to Japan, which is super racist because he says he's from Alabama. This poor depressed guy, he just says accidents happen. But he should know that it wasn't Chase's fault either. I don't know why he's letting him feel guilty about it. And tells everybody she knows how to get the $10,000. And it's by cloning babies.
No, that's an excellent idea.
You think so?
Yes, of course I do. Tell you what, why don't we discuss it some more outside?
For some reason, Michael seems like he's into this idea, but he actually just walks her out and locks the door, which is really disrespectful. You guys just made fun of her in a couple episodes ago, and now you're just gonna lock her out? Like, I don't understand the cynicism of these teenagers. They are just so negative and treat each other so bad sometimes. I wonder if that affected me growing up. Like, I felt like it was funny and quirky to be rude to your friends, kind of tease each other, but now I'm looking back and I'm like, this was kind of an ugly side of us. Like, I'm not proud of it. So in order to get the money back, they decide to do a people auction, you know, where the students can be bought by the teachers to do things for them. I think this is a weird concept, but it makes sense in my head. They kind of did something like this on Hannah Montana, where it's like they were raising money for awareness.
150. 300! Okay, we have 300 bid for Chase and Michael. Do I hear 350? Please.
Oh, please.
Going once.
Anyone, help us.
Twice.
Please, come on, help us.
Sold for $300.
It's so funny, the coach ends up putting money down for Michael and Chase just to get his quote-unquote revenge pie. And I'm so excited to see where this goes. When Zoey, Nicole, and Lola come up, there's a huge plot twist where Logan actually puts $4,000.
300, do I hear 4? Who'll bid 4?
$4,000.
Only teachers are allowed to bid.
Not students.
No way.
Which is insane, but the teacher said since they didn't have a rule saying he couldn't do that, that they have to, which is nuts. So next day, girls show up to Logan's, and he's like literally so condescending to them.
No, you're gonna do whatever I say whether you like it or not. Unless you don't want my $4,000 to help Kazu rebuild Sushi Rocks.
He literally uses the money against them to get whatever he wants, and gives them cheerleader outfits. Apparently he just wants them to cheer him on in his everyday life. Meanwhile, the coach is making Logan and Michael make sushi for him. Which, how in the world would Logan and Michael know how to make sushi? They just give him a raw fish, and it's like, why? And he pronounces it sushi, which is so stupid, but it's such a Dan Schneider reference. Meanwhile, the girls are humiliated as they have to keep cheering on Logan through lunch, and he keeps holding the money over them. It's so... blackmail-y? But they're kind of good at being cheerleaders. They never mentioned having backstories as cheerleaders, but they seem to be pretty good at it. But they seem to be pretty good at the cheers. The coach continues to torture Michael and Chase by pitting them against his son.
Sparring partners.
Kitty, right here.
And this is literally the entire episode. It's just Michael and Chase getting beaten up. Zoey comes up with a plan to combat Logan. And the plan is to essentially lean into it, cheer on everything he does. So they get up super early in the morning, follow him through his day, and cheer everything, even getting rejected by a girl.
Well, thanks, but I really don't like you that way. Sorry.
Rejected! Rejected! Yeah, you just got rejected!
Which is kind of a genius idea. I feel like I personally would call the quits too if somebody used annoyance as a weapon to get me. Like, I hate being annoyed. Eventually, he's like, take the money and just leave me alone. And that's the moral of the story. And it works. The girls got their way. Next thing you know, we fix Sushi Rock and Kazu is being surprised back with his place as normal. Which, how in the world did you coordinate this entire fix without Kazu, and then also ask Kazu to come all the way back from Alabama for a quote-unquote surprise, not knowing that it's Sushi Rock?
What is going on?
You ask a lot of questions.
You don't answer many.
Like, couldn't they just tell him they fixed it over the phone and he could just see it and it doesn't have to be a surprise? So yeah, while that one was kind of controversial, I feel like this next one was a little bit too mundane for my taste, but worth mentioning. So this whole episode is about like this robot competition, and Zoey and Quinn are kind of the forefront of this episode.
Oh, I'm helping you.
Whatever. You can't beat us no matter who helps you. Come on, guys.
TTYL.
Where they challenge some of the robotics boys to have like a robot competition.
1 week from today, our robot will fight your robot.
In the PCA amphitheater after school.
3 o'clock.
We'll be there.
And I guess the whole point of the episode is that all robotics kids are snotty and popular. Like, I feel like they get the character traits as if they're like this really popular group, and that our main characters just need to stand up to them, which doesn't really make any sense to me.
Girls in science go together like sodium hypochlorite and ammonia.
LOL.
When Quinn leaves the room, all the rest of the cast of characters start trashing her, and it's really rude. Like, I think Logan does like a weird impersonation.
I am Quinn. I must go get a sprocket from my home planet, Dorkon. I am Quinn from Dorkon.
So, you guys think I'm a dork?
And her feelings are obviously hurt and runs out super sad. Zoey tries to apologize to her about the situation, but Quinn is upset because Zoey was feeding into it and not stopping it.
Come on, that was just Logan being a jerk. It's what he does. I expect to be made fun of by Logan. What I didn't expect was for everyone to laugh. Especially you.
Which, I agree, that is like not loyalty to me. So yeah, they hurt Quinn's feelings, making it a lot harder to get through this robot competition. So without Quinn, they really need help. So Zoey, Chase, and Nicole go to this really pretentious kid that is also into robotics, which I guess they're just gonna make these guys seem like villains completely.
We're born in the South, specifically a small town in Louisiana, whose name I know, but it's not significant, so I'll keep it to myself. You enjoy athletics, e.g. basketball, and you maintain a 3.85 grade point average. Impressive. To most.
And he says he knows everything and everyone, and even guesses Zoey's address. I didn't realize her character was from Louisiana until I saw this. They definitely don't make a mention of it before, and it's scary that this character of all people is the first person to tell me that information. He's kind of condescending, and I feel like this is where mansplaining comes in. Like, look at him, the way he delivers this. He tells them he's only going to help them if Zoey could help him score a date with Nicole.
I would like a date.
Oh, well, I'm flattered and all, but...
Not with you. With your delightful friend, the perky brunette in the fuchsia blouse.
It's funny because at first, she's like, you want to go on a date with me? And he's like, ew, no, I want Nicole. Which is a weird exchange of services to me. I hate when they have the plot where everybody depends on Zoey to solve the issue. Like, whether it's like a breakup or getting back together, it seems like they go to Zoey for advice when she really doesn't do anything ever. Like, she is not a helpful person. She just kind of complains about things people ask her for and has that like little martyr syndrome.
Don't forget about our arrangement. My date with your friend Nicole, tomorrow night.
I won't. You just... be ready.
I shall bathe like I've never bathed before.
Like, she never makes actions to actually carry this out. Like, this entire plot of this episode is that Quinn is mad at her for bullying her. Like, I don't understand. This kind of feels like a reflection of Alexa Nicholas situation, and I'm not sure if you guys are too familiar on that. But basically, Nicole left the show after the season and talked about how they treated her very poorly on set. And all the main cast kind of ganged up on her, and Jamie Lynn Spears was definitely at the forefront of that, so maybe that's why I have a little bit of a antagonist view of her at this point. Uh-oh. But yeah, this episode feels like it kind of reflects that in real life, because that's kind of how she treats Quinn in the show. This makes it kind of hard to watch. In the end, they finally get to the robot competition, and they're about to win, but something goes wrong and Quinn needs to come in and save the day.
Too much damage. Too much damage. This thing can't fight.
Mine can.
She's still not talking to the group because obviously they are so rude, but does good and decides to help them win the competition despite how they treated her, which already makes her a better person than Zoey. Like, she's the only one in the show to actually make an effort. Quinn tells them that she still doesn't want to have to do with them, and it's nice seeing Quinn assert her dominance in this episode. I feel like it's very cool that she is not just like taking them bullying her, like she actually stands up to them, walks away from them. Like, it's a really good message for Quinn in this episode. The cast obviously feels bad, so they try to make it up for her by building their own robot to deliver her flowers and an apology, which I guess that's enough reason to make up for it. This guy kind of reminds me of Neville Papperman. You know, like, this is like his prequel character. I'm not sure if you guys remember Neville Papperman. He's that guy that is so pretentious that he tries to like take over iCarly. When she doesn't kiss him, he literally like attacks their web show. We all had that one guy in our grade in high school, didn't we? The episode ends with Nicole on a date with that robot guy, and I can't tell if this is a happy ending. It kind of makes me uncomfortable. The end. Who wins in this episode? Not many. Okay, so now we have some of the more popular episodes. Season 3 is going to start us with the worst episode ever, wrestling. Season 3, episode 8. My friend pointed out to me that the fashion in this episode is kind of on point, and I agree. Like, Zoey specifically has a lot of nice outfits. It doesn't make up for her acting, but you know what I mean. The friends are walking when they find two little boys fighting, and I ask myself once again, how old do you have to be to go to PCA? What is the limit? There is just too many people here. Zoey breaks up the wrestling, and the gym coach pretty much yells at her for it, but you think it's negative, and it's actually just positive. He's like, you should join the wrestling team! This interaction is super funny because he definitely seems angry at her, and she's definitely angry back, but he makes her agree to it.
Be on the team!
Why do you want me to—
Join the team! Say yes!
If I say yes, will you stop screaming at me?
Welcome to the team!
I just joined the wrestling team.
Oh my gosh, Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Who remembers Rock'em Sock'em Robots? Lola and Quinn are playing in this episode, and I forgot this was even a thing. Later, Zoey shows up to the tryouts, and Logan is pretty angry that she's there. No surprise, he was angry in the pilot, he's angry now. I don't know why her being in the friend group and him consensually joining them all the time still bothers him. They even reference basketball. Apparently, they've been playing all these sports, and I guess we just don't see it. The coach is mad at her for assuming she would just start, but it's like, dude, you invited her. And he gives her all these complicated tasks to do, like they have her work out and everything. And she's like exhausted. Lola and Quinn can see how tired she is, but they're like, please take one for the team, like be the first girl wrestler. And I guess I'm here for it, although we do never see her fight. The coach has a catchphrase and says, let's get sweaty. Not happy about that. Meanwhile, Lola is talking to this guy named Trotman with the intention of getting on TV. This is the guy from the news that you usually see at PCA campus. He's basically calling her on her bluff, being like, you don't want to go out with me. And you know what? Lola is rude for even trying to do this.
Would you really go out with me?
No.
Walk away.
Zoey kind of confronts the coach and asks why she has not been wrestling, and the coach's interaction with these boys is hilarious. Doug Brochu from Sunny with a Chance is here! Oh my gosh! The coach keeps insisting that she is going to wrestle, and then he talks about aliens in this scene. I don't know what this character is, but honestly, I wish we had a standalone episode featuring him. So Zoey learns that the guy she's going to face is actually really aggressive. Like, he even beats up the camera guy on the screen, which is actually a really funny joke. I love that we see this. See California State Wrestling, so they're definitely in California. Not sure if you guys thought that, but I've been wondering. Trotman comes back, and Lola is still mad at him for not letting her on TV, and Quinn is basically like, oh, I'll help you figure this out.
You want to do sports color commentary? I don't know what that means, but if I get to be on camera, then yes, I do. Okay, wait here. What are you gonna do? Things.
Has him sneak away and basically kidnaps him because we do not know where he is, and Lola basically fills in for him as one of these announcers. Good luck, Lola. I definitely don't think you know how sports work because you're an actor, not because you're a girl. I love how nobody is getting consequences for their actions. Like, this coach is doing so many bad things. Lola is so funny though as the announcer. Like, she just mentions things she actually knows and it has nothing to do with the sports, but I kind of love it.
He's never been defeated in over 74 high school wrestling matches.
Yeah, but look at his scruffy head. I could definitely recommend some hair care products, starting with a deep conditioner.
The coach basically says that Zoey has an injury, and we learn that he was just using her to get to the finalists and be able to substitute somebody who actually can wrestle, which is really rude, but it does make a lot of sense given all the events leading up to this. And it sucks, because he's a really funny character. I wish he wasn't such a jerk. Zoey ends up kind of betraying him and going in to wrestle anyway. Everybody's cheering her on from the stands, and it cuts off right before they're about to fight, because of course, Jamie Lynn Spears cannot fight. Next thing we know, she's in the infirmary, and her friends are there to comfort her. A great ending, and you know what? This actually gives me a little bit more points towards Zoey. I feel like she definitely is a good character in this specific episode. I mean, given the circumstances, a lot of stuff happens to her, and she's a little passive when it comes to all the decisions she makes, but overall, I felt like this was a necessary episode, especially if you're trying to keep your boy Johnny 2000 watching, which doesn't matter because I'm gonna have to watch these all anyway. I like the appearances from everybody. Chase is super supportive, even though this episode does not revolve around him. And we even get to see Logan get his comeuppance at the end in the nurse's lounge. A lot of fun, a lot of hijinks. Okay, so now we got season 3, episode 15, Zoey's Ribs. It's like a common thing for all these kids to get things from their grandparents or inherit something, like Chase's radio. And the same thing happens in this episode.
Oh my god.
What?
Your great Uncle Morris passed away.
I have a great Uncle Morris?
Well, had.
And he left you some ribs.
Like a truck full of ribs for her. And of course the lunch lady is like, I do not want to keep this in the fridge all weekend. But she's kind of funny. I really like this lunch lady. I wish we saw her again.
I did not suffer through 2 years of cafeteria college for this.
They kind of have a genius idea to have a cook-off, make a good situation out of the whole thing. They want Coco to be a judge for the contest, and she's super excited.
Ribs? Can I be the judge?
Well, yeah, we were just gonna ask.
I want to be the judge.
Okay.
Be the judge.
And it's kind of about Logan and Michael coming in between each other, about how to sauce the ribs right, and even physically attack each other. Zoey and Chase jump on either one side, and then suddenly they're against each other. The next thing you know, Dean Rivers is trying to get involved, and he found a famous Food Channel chef at the gas station. And this is just all weird to me. Apparently, he wants to judge the rib cook-off. So now they gotta tell Coco that they don't want her to do it anymore, and she actually gets really angry for a second, until she learns that it's the famous chef. And they kind of like each other.
You are a food expert?
Oh, you bet your sweet Pippi.
Nothing I've heard a human say ever. And Logan actually starts to bribe this chef, and he has like no reaction to it. Each of them like try to win him over, like so determined to win this competition. Even Michael gives him a massage, which is so crazy. I can't tell if he's like receiving it or not, but it's still disturbing that this young child is giving a massage to an adult. It's so weird because it's like there's this huge event that's like really professional, but so little is really actually happening. Until we find out that the cops come to take the food chef because it turns out he's an impersonator. What the heck? Like, what is this premise?
Well, this guy's not Pierre Lamange.
What?
He's an imposter. He goes around the country pretending he's Mr. Lamange so he can get free stuff and special VIP treatment.
The argument about the rib just abruptly ends, and I'm not sure what this is. They celebrate at the end, but I don't know what they're celebrating. This episode, hodgepodge of confusion. I'm gonna say it. I don't think it was structured like a normal show. If this was taken out of the Zoey zeitgeist, I don't think we would miss it. It feels like the worst in all of them. Like in season 1, we had the Drake Bell concert. In season 2, we had the people auction, and now we have Zoey's ribs. It's almost like it's going downhill in terms of quality. I don't think it adds a lot to the series overall. If anything, the characters are jumping out of their usual stereotypes. And I don't know, I think it's just a little too wacky. It seems like an iCarly plot to know that the main character gets a whole truckload of ribs that they have to get rid of by a certain time. Like, it's definitely one of the worst fundraising type episodes. Because they do a lot of fundraising in PCA, and this is definitely not one of the better ones. Okay, I know I mentioned only doing 2 for each season, but I just had to add the Curse of PCA to this list. Like, it's not surprising. This episode is ridiculous. Not only is it out of character, it is out of genre. It is literally like a thriller. And while I actually do kind of like the Zoey 101 characters acting in a Halloween-like thriller, it didn't do it in a tasteful way. Like, the entire first part of this episode was just them going into a desert, and nothing really happened until halfway through the episode. Therefore, it wasn't even relevant to be 2 parts. They could have fit in the important story stuff into the actual episode. I don't know. Like, the second part was definitely better than the first because it picked up the pace and actually went through the issues, but I'm definitely gonna put it this low on the list because you shouldn't advertise to be an hour-length movie and then be nothing about what the show even intends to be about. Like, it's like if iCarly or Victorious did a full 1-hour episode of that April Fool's Day idea, you know? Like, it just doesn't work. Now it's time to move on to the 4th and final season of Zoey 101, starting off with season 4, episode 3, Alone at PCA. It bothers me a little bit. It seems like an obvious idea. It's like all the main characters are stuck at PCA during this trip that everybody else is taking, which is spring break. And since they don't want to go to Mr. Reese's house again for another reality show, it seems like they're going to be staying on campus. At first they're bummed, but then they learn to look at the bright side of it, with Dean Rivers even being like, "You guys are lucky." The whole reason that they have to stay at PCA is funny because apparently they were expecting Coco to take the kids to Yosemite for the week. But apparently her and Carl, this boyfriend that she's had many episodes, has broken up with her because apparently she fell on his mother. Oh my god, Coco.
Oh my god!
Was she hurt?
I don't know. Carl says she has a fractured neck or something.
Apparently she broke her neck too. So Coco's running on down to Fresno to try to apologize and get her relationship back, abandoning these children, these under 18-year-olds by themselves on campus. I don't know why their parents aren't getting involved. I don't know why the school doesn't give a crap. It is funny watching her van run off with ravioli falling out of the back seat though. In a side gag, we have Stacy waiting for her parents to pick her up, but they never do. So she just sits there on the side of PCA this entire episode. Kind of abusive, but I mean, I guess they just like picking on her character all the time. I don't know if being like a nerd or having a lisp is enough to justify everybody hating somebody like this, but the Dan Schneiderverse doesn't discriminate. A lot of this episode is a bunch of little montages. It kind of reminds me of the little beach party episode where they all were finishing their finals and then went to the beach, were abandoned when everybody left. Like, this is definitely giving the same vibe. It's a lot more playful because of all these montages, but then stuff gets real when Dean Rivers catches Logan and Michael playing hockey in the hallway and breaking a trophy. But there's something sus about this situation. It doesn't feel like it's actually them who did it. At the same time, they're the only ones on campus. I don't know what Michael and Logan expect. Well, probably not these security guards to lock them in their dorm and guard the door. Like, you're telling me that there's no other concerns you guys have on this campus? Like, nobody's gonna break in or hurt anybody? You have to monitor these two 17-year-olds? So they're stuck their whole spring break in this dorm, which really stinks. I can't imagine doing that and then going through the rest of your semester in that same dorm room. Like, I would be driven crazy. In the most random bit ever, Lola was giving Quinn makeup and makes it clown makeup, which I don't understand how that benefits her. Michael and Logan start trying to understand why they're being framed for doing this, and they start to turn on each other, which is always a funny trope. And Quinn and Mark investigate the whole crime scene just to kind of get them out of trouble, which I appreciate. That's very nice of her. They find out evidence that it could not possibly be them, and I'm just more focused on when Quinn and Mark are gonna break up. I remember they break up, I just don't remember when or how, so we're gonna have to figure that out on our journey, guys. Zoey and Lola try to contribute to the cause by interviewing different people that work at the campus to see which one of them could have framed these kids, which you don't think these adults have anything better to do. They ask the lunch lady, and Lola likes to play bad cop while Zoey plays good cop. Another funny poke at her acting trope.
We're not idiots!
I never called you and
Where were you last night between midnight and 1 a.m.?
Now you're scaring me.
There's this really suspicious janitor that keeps being aggressive toward them, which is definitely him. I feel like I could put my cards in that right now. The only thing Quinn is able to find with her investigation is the fact that the hockey stick was in fact the thing that broke the trophy. Therefore, it has to be Logan and Chase, which that's all you figured out? I could have figured that out. I don't even have cereal in my fridge. Stacy ends up coming in and actually giving them the solution, questioning Seamus, who actually is the janitor they were just interrupting. He buried Logan and Michael's stick after breaking the trophy himself. They find out that there's actually a really deep history between this janitor and Dean Rivers, which is it's very random. I feel like we started out as this episode where everybody's going on vacation, fun, friendly montages, and suddenly we're caught in this big frame scheme, which this could have been done on any episode. Like, why did it need to be during a spring break? Why couldn't you just focus on the fact that they're alone somewhere, or have the plot be about the fact that they are alone there, not just have them come back to campus for an episode that they probably would have done anyway? Like, it doesn't need to be alone at PCA for this. But whatever, I guess that's just something they did in the first season. They wanted to bring it back. I don't know the logic here. The whole episode ends in Dean Rivers and this janitor literally wrestling to the ground. It surprisingly takes another twist when the main cast just wants to enjoy their time on campus, so they sit by a fire and the episode is resolved. I guess there's no legal implications for the fact that Seamus literally broke the trophy and now they're all just hanging out. Like, you were literally willing to put Logan and Michael away behind bars, and now this guy just gets to hang out by a campfire? It's not fair, I'll tell you that much. The fact that this episode didn't need to take place on campus when it was empty is ridiculous to me. I feel like this whole episode is about the fact that Michael and Logan are framed for something, and it didn't need to be while the place was vacant. Sorry. I like the idea that we get one episode with all the main cast and no Chase before we just shoehorn James in there. But with most of the episode being montages or the dean being rude to the kids, it's not that memorable. The next episode is Season 4, Episode 5, Anger Management. It takes this next episode to finally get Dustin back. I feel like I've barely seen him, if at all, and his hair's a little raggedy and longer, and he's looking older now. He doesn't look as old as he should. I feel like at this point it's been 3 years, like he should be a lot taller. But hey, that's just my insecurities about my height at that age. He's working for Logan, it seems, James and trying to deliver him coffee. Of course Logan's gonna take advantage of this kid. Zoe's all smitten over James and everybody's teasing her about it, and it almost like makes me feel like a little bit of injustice because it's like, poor Chase, like he got 3 seasons worth of episodes and now she's just dating somebody. It makes me think that they were possibly intending on her dating Chase in this season and it being about that. And I would have loved to see how they worked in a relationship actually, as opposed to seeing them get together and then never talk again. So a part of me feels like maybe they rewrote a couple episodes to fit James instead of Chase, and it kind of works. Like they managed to do it in a way that doesn't get in our way, but I do remember watching this way back when and feeling a little bit of betrayal, so there's something's going on. It's weird, but randomly in this season, I guess they started this habit of the characters watching cartoons together. Dan Schneider must have had people animate this. There's no way these aren't original characters. And now Quinn and Lola are watching it in their dorm. Quinn actually built a paint grenade, which I don't know what that would be useful for.
Relax, it's harmless. It just blasts you with 54 different colors.
Which I view as harmful.
It's so gross though, like there's this bowl of nuts that Quinn eats and then Lola eats it after her. It's really unnecessary to the plot. We get a glimpse into Dustin being Logan's assistant and he's basically begging his teachers on his behalf for an extension on his homework assignments, which is so funny. I wish they did this plot earlier. Seeing Dustin try to be so attentive to this jerk's lifestyle is just so funny. Definitely reminds me of PAs in the film industry, if you guys catch my drift. Then it seems that Logan verbally abuses Dustin. Like, he shows Zoey and James and Michael this message he got, and it's just him screaming at Dustin saying, like, I don't care if you're 11! And it's, like, definitely borderline toxic. I don't know why he's doing this. He's a kid. Well, I guess he's so rich, he obviously thinks everybody can work for him, but it's just crazy. They end up putting this whole message on the news, which I find hilarious. I can't believe he got that kind of comeuppance. And people start to harass him on campus. It kind of reminds me of when Josh was in that movie as the theater thug, and everybody was like, it's the theater thug! Yeah, that's what this reminds me of here. Everybody trying to hurt Logan and get back at him for being a jerk, which definitely feels like a fair retribution for all that he's done to Dustin. Like, this is kind of verbal abuse. I didn't realize that they had a parody of The View on this series too. It's called Point of View, which actually is kind of better than The View's title. I like that a lot. And Logan even gets sucked into Dean Rivers' office. He tells him that his daddy's money is not going to help him this time, which is really scary. Kind of reminds me of Logan Cut Off, which definitely is a concerning episode. He says he's going to enroll him in anger management for 10 weeks. Oh my gosh, can you imagine? I'm so excited to see this play out. So then it's Logan with a bunch of people all in this group with a teacher. I don't know which campus this is that they have anger management. And he's, of course, trashing it the whole time. Basically like, I shouldn't be here. Not with the accent, but you know what I mean. And everybody gets angry at each other, starts yelling, and oh my gosh, this feels just like what a stereotypical portrayal of a anger management class would be. Like, clearly nobody who wrote this episode was in anger management. Logan comes back to the dorm to tell him that his daddy did get involved, and if he can go 2 weeks without screaming at somebody, he'll be off the hook for anger management. And obviously this sounds like a win, but there's no way Logan can get away with this. That's why it's about to have comedy ensue. The only way they're gonna figure out if Logan is following the rules or not is this anger management teacher follows him around. He's literally standing outside the boys' window. I don't know any job that would allow somebody to do that, especially a professional. Poor James, though, he just got introduced last episode. Him and Zoey are dating, and we talked about it for 5 seconds. I guess we just accept it's a part of reality now. Zoey and James kind of get devious about this, and they're like, we should poke fun at him. I don't care if he's trying to grow. We should make sure we can get an outburst out of him, which I'm starting to wonder the morals of these characters. And James is very, like, silent when it comes to his responses. He's not a very theatrical actor, which is why he's, like, pretty good at this sarcastic tone. Zoey presents his project to him super late, so he'll yell at her, but he holds back, keeps a thumb up, and tries to stay positive. And then after Dustin oils up his bike, he pretends he's not mad and just keeps on going, which I don't know if it's safe to drive now. The B-plot in this is really distasteful. Like, basically, Quinn is trying to get Lola to forgive her for eating those nuts and leaving them out for Lola to eat. And Lola says the only way to get her back for this is to drink water that she already drank. And I really hate it. It's definitely absolutely not a fulfilling finish. It's actually really gross, and I don't like it. I feel like they just molded Quinn to be this pick-me girl, because originally she was only caring about science and experiments, and then Lola kind of got her into caring about guys, which in turn is like, Lola was supposed to be an artist, like this performer that ended up being a little creepy sometimes, but now she's like fully taken on the role that Nicole had, where it's just gawking over guys, being overtaken by those plots, and it's kind of annoying because it's like, clearly girls go through other things in a PCA format. Like, you don't have to have one character always hitting on other guys, and the fact that Quinn is even involved is really annoying. It's like the writers are just getting lazy with the characters and giving them tropes of all liking guys. Like, Quinn is in a relationship and she's like, yeah, let's go gawk at guys. Like, you guys don't have to mold just to fit each other, unless that actually makes a lot more sense. Yeah, I guess in real life, humans would mold themselves to kind of be more like another person the longer they hang out with them, so maybe Quinn is an experiment on psychology. Whoa, guys, pause the video and go talk to a therapist. Tell them what I just said, see if they like it. After a lot of slapstick comedy of Zoey and James trying to get Logan to cave and actually be angry, Zoey uses the paint bomb that Quinn made earlier, puts it in the closet, and it explodes on him. And I'm like kind of feeling bad for Logan a little bit now. Not really fair to fight fire with that much fire back. He's successfully not angry about it, and his counselor comes in to congratulate him on going 2 weeks without screaming. Although he hears him actually let out his anger, goes back with Dean Rivers, and suddenly Logan is in trouble once again, which I definitely think they would expel him now, but I guess they give him one more chance because next thing you know, he's in anger management again. I wish the whole anger management plot was a little bit more funny and not more about James and Zoey trying to push Logan, but like a genuine effort in trying to not be angry anymore. Like, even Dustin doesn't end up being a part of it either. It feels like it becomes somebody else's episode, and it's like, where did that come from? And I wish I could have seen more of them in the anger management class. Like, that would have been really fun. It's just another torture Logan episode. So yeah, there you have it. Those are all the episodes of Zoey 101 that I am ashamed to be reporting about. I mean, given the fact a lot of them are pretty tame, pretty boring, it's just the fact that it wasted my time. But the moments like Logan hiring a cheerleader, like the girls, having cliffhangers that don't really lead to anywhere and ruin the end of a first season. The point is, Zoey 101 has taken us all on a wild ride that I don't know if I consented to be on. Thank you guys so much for watching and continuing to support my channel. Johnny 2000 has grown from like 10 to 25,000 subscribers in the last like 3 months, and I am so grateful. Like, it's been so much fun to speed up my process and make as many videos as possible, just because like I have an endless amount of shows I want to cover. And I personally am looking forward to working on my musicals for a bit, so I wanted to make sure I front load you guys with as much content as I can. If you guys haven't already, you could support me by liking, subscribing, just sharing with your friends. Overall, just thank you guys so much for your support. And until next time, everybody, this is Johnny 2000 signing off.